Oh, I'm locked up. They won't let me out. No. Wow. Hello, Game of Thrones. Holy shit. Okay, if you look back through all my videos, I say holy shit in every single episode. And sometimes it may not be warranted. Sometimes I'm like, holy shit. And it'd be like something like, Ghost showed up. And I'd be like, holy shit. But this, holy shit. It's just, wow. Wow. That bitch in jail. Wow. It's fantastic. Okay. I was going to start this video by saying something funny and clever, and I did. But that wasn't what I intended to say. What I wanted to say before the episode ended was there's only one winner of the Game of Thrones right now. And that's Samwell Tarly for getting that ass. Finally. Sam got a little bit of wobbling booty. I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. He acted just as I imagined. She got on him and he was like, oh, good Lord, good heavens, wonderful. Like, he was really like, oh, he's such a dork. But he got laid, so good for him. But, fuck, it's scrambling my soul at the words. Here's the thing. I'm going to go back to Cersei at the end, but I just want to say, last week I was like, I'm sick of that smug look on her face. She thinks she got everything under control, but you know, something's going to fuck up. Something's not going to go right. I said that. Look back at the last episode. I said it. I feel good. I feel vindicated. Don't you just like, I feel light. I feel light and I'm heavy. So this is great. Wow. Okay, let's start at the beginning. First of all, this is what happened. We started off in, I want to say we did the north. We did start in the north. Sansa, like, last week I felt bad for her. This week, it's like, I thought you learned something from Peter Baelish. Like, where's the scheming? There's no scheming. Like, the best shot of you scheming is to try to use Reek. He's fucking broken, dude. Like, he's fucked up. It's not gonna work. As much as he wants to, he's just too terrified of what Ramsay will do. So he's not a good candidate for your little scheme. But that's it? You've been trained by Peter Baelish. Like, you should have like 15 plots going right now. Somebody in Karth should have died already based off of something you set up. And nothing. You've done nothing. You've been locked in a room and getting raped every night. That's it? That's your big plan? I'm disappointed. You got to get your shit together. You're supposed to be a schemer. You're supposed to have learned something. It's like your dark hair went away and now you're just like fucking... You're just like a fucking newborn. You got to get with it. Okay? These niggas crazy. They cutting bitches up. They cut that old lady that was nice to you just for being nice to you. They killed her. They took her skin off. They just took it off because she was nice to you and she was like the North remembers. That's it. So you got to do better than that, homie. You got to do better than that. And then telling Ramsay Snow he's a bastard, like, oh baby. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's a surefire way to get slapped. I'm surprised he didn't hit you. But he's like more cerebral. He likes to fuck with your mind. So like as insulted as he was by you calling Tommen a bastard and him a bastard, being unbastardized by another bastard, you gotta come on, like, dude. Come on, right, for real. And then Reek, like last week, that must have been like a sledgehammer to his psyche. Like it was just like, just destroying whatever he's got left, right? And like he says, like, but he's almost like a lost cause. He's a lost cause. You can't, you know what I mean? Like a horse, and the horse spirit is broken. Like it's wild and free and they won't let anybody ride it. But then, you know, you get the right trainer and they break that horse's spirit. Like they break it down to nothing. You know what I mean? And the horse is letting kids ride it and is doing pony shows and there's a fucking clown on his back. He's that. He's the horse that's just been beaten down to nothing. That's what his problem is. There's nothing you can do about that. There has to be something equally as traumatic as what happened to him has to happen to him in a positive light. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's going to happen. If he didn't kill Ramsey last week, he's a lost cause. We had the moment at the North. We got to see Eamon die. Oh, I fucking love Eamon. Like, I looked him up on Wikipedia because he said like his lineage and his father and his brother and all that stuff. So I looked him up and I read a lot about his egg, who he kept talking about in the thing, egg, which was, what was his name? Aegon, whatever. He was an important person in the Game of Thrones books. Like, he was like, there's this other book about him or whatever. It was a lot of stuff. And I was like, one, you're really old. Like, holy shit. You're old. And two, like, he knew he was at the end because he was flashback into that sort of stuff. And in his head, part of me wish they would have showed a flashback to that time. I know they wouldn't do that, but it would have been nice to see. But he died. And Jon left. Aemon died. So Sam is stuck by himself at the wall. And everybody else pretty much is like, they're not big Jon Snow fans right now because he's working with the Wildlings and he's gone off with the guy Tormund. He's off with Tormund. So, and it's like the moment Aemon died, then these two guys tried to rape Gilly. And they, listen, when I say they beat the hell out of Sam, they beat the hell out of Sam. He got back up. Like, I give him that. Like, if it wasn't for Ghost, Gilead's would have been taken and not by Sam like it ended up being. So, you know, you need to get some sword lessons or something, because like you're just big and awkward with the weapon. Like you're like going like this and like it's just you. Come on. Or maybe you need like a short dagger like you killed the White Walker with. Just jump up behind him and do the shit like you did before. But you got to do something. You got to defend your woman if you're gonna have her. You know what I mean? In a place with rapers and murderers and killers, you gotta be able to protect her. Get your shit together, Sam. But you did alright. You ended up fucking, so who am I to judge? You worked it out. That happened. Also, Stannis, oh my god. With Stannis, right? There's this whole thing, the war, and I mean, they want to fight, but they can't because the storms are so bad and they're losing people and people are dying. People are running off, and his force is getting smaller every day. And how is he gonna take Winterfell? It's becoming a problem, right? So the Red Woman, Melisandre, it's like that. She says we need King's blood, right? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, no, there's nobody else. Who are you gonna? Aemon had King blood, but he's at the wall and he's dead, so you couldn't use him. What would you do? And so she was like, let's just sacrifice Shireen. What? You can't just, what? So he said, let's sacrifice Shireen. So naturally in my head, I'm like, well, that's not going to happen because he just gave this impassioned, emboldened speech to his daughter like 2 episodes ago about how everybody said get rid of her, and he kept her and he stayed with it because he loved her and she's his daughter. And, you know, that's great. But it's going to come down to whether you really want this. And if you really want this, then you need to sacrifice your daughter to the Red God. And it doesn't look like he's into that. I feel like, I don't think I've ever heard him tell her to get out before. And how come this bitch don't be cold? Like everybody else is layered, like super layered. And she got the little shit and it's like this. And she's walking around and I'm like, you ain't cold? Not at all? No? I know you said like the Lord's fire is burning in you, but come on, for real? You ain't cold? Them nipples, you should probably hang pictures off of them because they should be that. Regardless, my time is running. Holy shit. Okay, look. One last thing I'll say. I was impressed. Last week, the sand snake fight thing, that was like, this is what all the hype, you guys fucking like, so what? A couple of chicks with weapons. I thought it was going to be like more intense until that little scene with in the jail and one of the sand snakes, who arguably might be the most beautiful woman in the world. She did this little thing and she was like showing it. Oh my god, the body. Well, the point is, she poisoned Braun a long time ago when they fought. Clearly, she's her father's daughter, but she poisoned him, and he was talking all this shit, and she was talking shit to him, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm not the most beautiful woman in the world," and he was like, "No, I've seen plenty other." And she started taking the shit off, and he was like, "Well, I don't remember all of them, but you might be up there." And then he started to die, and she had a little vial, and she was like, "I want you to say it. Tell me I'm beautiful." And he did it, and then she died. So I was impressed by that. I was like, okay, I see you got an underbelly that's a little dark, a little gritty, and I'm into that. But last thing I want to talk about, my shit is gonna run off. If this video just stops, I'm sorry. But shit, I can't think of the words. Khaleesi met Tyrion and ran into the fucking guy with the bear man, Mormont. They ran into Mormont and at the little fighting pit, and it just ended like that. I'm like, holy shit. Oh, one last thing. Cersei, that bitch Cersei. Oh, it was good to see the smirk wiped off her face. She went to see the queen, and she was like, oh, this is unacceptable. It's so dirty in here. Like, she made her feel like shit, and she did a lot of little arrogant shit, and she was walking with the smirk, and then they got her ass too. And